In this video, we will be reviewing the step-by-step instructions for entering IDGS transportation reimbursements. We will start off by logging into the eVeroPortal app. We will enter the username and password that we previously selected, and we will click Sign In to log into the system. Once we are signed in, we will see the dashboard page. We will exit this page by clicking Close in the upper right-hand corner under the battery bar. And we will close out of our iOS minimum operating system pop-up by clicking the X on the upper left-hand corner under our individual's name. We now see the launch pad on our menu page. We will click on the invoice button to add a new invoice. We will make sure that our invoice button is on Add and not View. If we wanted to review previously entered invoices, we would click on View and then select the month for which we wanted to review. But again, to add a new invoice, we will make sure to select Add. For today's training, we will be entering an IDGS transportation for reimbursement. We will enter the following information for the invoice. First, the date that the service occurred. We will toggle back to our date here. And if we were entering more than one date of service, we would be sure to enter the date that the service most recently occurred. On our attention screen, we will click OK. We will then drop down Program and select SDS Individual Directed Goods and Services. We will drop down Category and select Transportation. For Paid To, we will drop down and select the person for which we are seeking reimbursement. And next, we will click the purple Add Trips button. To add a trip, we will click the purple plus sign on the upper right-hand corner under the Home icon. We will then enter the following information. First, the date of service. This will auto-populate from our previous screen, but if we were entering an additional date, we would need to edit it by clicking on the date and toggling back. You can see that our Paid To and our program have auto-populated. Looking past the map, we are going to tap into Choose Starting Point to enter our departing location. This will open up a new screen where saved favorited addresses will be displayed in a list. To use one of these locations, tap to select. To add a new address, tap New in the upper right-hand corner under the battery bar. On this screen, do not enter any information for start time as AIM does not track this. You have two options to enter a new address. Click on Current Location button to enter the address for your current location, or click Search Location to look up a verified location. You do have the additional option to manually enter an address at the bottom, but this is not going to verify the location on the map, and therefore your mileage is not going to be auto-populated. If you do pick this option, you will have to use a GPS app or website like Apple Maps or Google Maps to check the miles of your trip and manually enter this information in the trips page. To save a new entry to favorites, click on the checkbox at the bottom of Add Favorites. Click Done to enter this address. Next, we will enter the street address for our destination. And we will click No to adding a time. Again, AIM does not track this information. Your trip screen will now show the starting point and your destination on the map. The mileage and amount will be auto-populated, scrolling down past round trip. We have skipped entering information for odometer start and odometer end because this is not information that AIM tracks either. We do have the option of toggling on the round trip button if we went from point A to point B and then back to point A with no other stops. When we select round trip, we're going to get an attention screen asking if we'd like to recalculate our miles and continue. We will click yes. You can see that our total miles and our amount for reimbursement have doubled. If you incurred any parking or toll fees during this trip, you can enter them by typing into the box. Please note that if you enter an amount for either toll or a parking fee, you will need to upload proof of payment by clicking on the camera icon to the right of attachments, or you will be prompted to select our attachment from either camera, files, or photo library. We will now enter the purpose of a trip by tapping into the box and typing a brief description. We click Done to save that description. To save this entry, we will click the purple Done button again in the upper right-hand corner of our trip page under the battery bar. To add an additional trip, click the purple plus sign next to Add Trip in the upper right-hand corner under the home icon and repeat these steps to enter the starting location, the destination, and a brief description of the trip. To save your trip, click Done in the upper right-hand corner. You will then see your additional trip saved on this trips page. When all of your trips have been entered, go ahead and click Add to Invoice in the upper right-hand corner of your screen under the battery bar. We are now brought back to our invoice and we see that our total amount is auto-populated. We will skip the 1099 required, associated vendor, and check memo sections as they are not required fields. We will now enter a brief description. And click Done to save. Please refer to AIM's IDGS reimbursement resource for detailed information on required documentation for each individual IDGS category. They can be found on AIM's website under Self-Direction, Budget Tools, under the Individual Directed Goods and Services tab. Finally, to save this invoice, we will click Save in the upper right-hand corner. Your invoice has now been submitted for reimbursement. To make any changes, press back into the Invoice button, toggle over to View, select the month for which we entered the reimbursement, and tap on the invoice to reopen and edit. Thanks for watching.